now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. Just listened to, for my very first time, to an album called Vengeance for Nothing by an act called Blunt Force Trauma. Supposedly there's two Blunt Force Traumas. One of them being the band we listened to, like brutal death, slamming, beatdowny, heavy hardcore style of act. Whereas apparently there's like more of a hardcore punk adjacent thrash metal crossover act, which features, I think it was the drummer of DRI. There's definitely a member of DRI in the band, Wikipedia told me. This is the only LP this band has put out, and it was released in 2012. Prior to this, there's a couple of demos and a split. And supposedly, some say it was like, you know, quite the demo, quite the set of songs in the extreme metal community. The precursor to this band was a band called, I've forgotten it now, something Virus. I forgot the name of it exactly, but there was a band that came prior to this, and I did check out a couple of like different clips from that band, and there's definitely a big change in sound. This is a lot more polished, a little more radio friendly per se. The other one was like quite harsh. Sound engineering was harsh, the production and the ideas were a little bit more nonsensical, but not necessarily in a bad way. It was a little more unique, to be honest. This album had 9 tracks, no filler, no sample. Well, did it start? I don't even think it started with a sample, just no filler. You got brutal music from start to finish, drop tunes, simplified riffing. You know, we didn't necessarily have any complexities with the instrumental, even down to the drums. The drums weren't necessarily complex at all. Vocals, just what you would expect from a brutal death metal band. Not necessarily, you know, anything amazing as far as the vocals are concerned, in my opinion. Nothing incredible as far as the guitars are concerned. Nothing incredible as far as the drumming's concerned. To jump to the chase, I thought this was quite an average record. I didn't really. I thought it was I don't want to say boring, but I think it was a bog standard record. This was number 1 on a. I just went on rateyourmusic.com, and as far as slam death metal is concerned, as a music genre, this is like album number 1, and I don't know why. It's very modern. I think when it comes to this style of music, I want it to just be ridiculously gruesome, horrible slam, brutal death, or I want it to openly declare itself as beatdown music, basically, one or the other. When you toe the line, it's sort of like you want to be this brutal band, but then you come with these like upbeat and sort of like spring in your step style, like hardcore riffs and stuff, and these like rap metal-esque, you know, rhythmic patterns vocally atop, but I just don't think it aligns very well. It sort of turns me off a little bit. I'm not a fan of heavy hardcore. Heavy hardcore to me is just like a dire genre. I'm really not into it, and there's a lot of that on this record. But with that being said, this is quite unique in its own way. They've got a lot of fantastic perspectives on, you know, slamming down on the first 5 frets and the rhythmic patterns, and the way they incorporate the changes of the tempos and how they're structuring the songs and whatnot. There is a lot of good artistic freedom within this band. That's cool. That is cool. I think the whole brutality of it is detracted by the heavy hardcore aspect, though. I think the incorporation of that sort of cheapens the record. I think it sort of makes it sound a bit cheap, in all honesty. You can tell the band's taken a bit of influence from bands of the mid-2000s. There was a particular time in mid-2000s where you had these beatdown-esque sort of New York, Americanized wiggle bands, should I say, for lack of better term. And this band sort of fits in there. This band was from Japan, like, don't get me wrong. A lot of people in the comment section talk about Dying Fetus and stuff like that. Fits it to a T, from what I'm aware. If I'm to rate this record out of 10, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not returning to this record. I don't think it's unique enough for me to give it a 6 or a 7. I think it's if I had it in my collection, I wouldn't really bother returning. But here we are. It's subjective and each to their own, right? So on that note, I'm going to continue on. And let me just say, I've listened to this record just on a little bit of a brutality run. Like, I listened to Devourment's Butchered a Week very first, and then I listened to Disgorge's Cranial whatever it was called second, and then I got onto this. So you can see sort of like where I've had high standards as a whole, and unfortunately it's just not tickled my pickle on that. And on that note, I'm signing out, so I'll see you soon, people. Peace.